It started in the kind of silence that doesn't feel empty, it feels occupied. Lena was lying still, half awake, when her phone lit up beside her without a single sound. No notification, no vibration, just a slow glow spreading across the screen like something waking up. The lock icon faded away on its own, deliberate, controlled. She hadn't touched it. She knew she hadn't. For a moment, she told herself it was nothing, just a glitch, a delayed response, a tired brain playing tricks. But then it happened again, slower this time, like it was learning the rhythm of being watched. The light didn't just turn on, it lingered. It stayed, as if it was aware she was looking at it. And when she finally picked it up, her reflection on the glass didn't quite match her movement. It followed, but just slightly too late. By morning, Lena tried to convince herself it had been nothing. But the evidence was still there, quietly waiting for her. Her notification history showed messages that didn't belong to anything installed on her phone. No app icon, no sender, no trace, just blank entries with timestamps from the middle of the night. Each one carried the same short message: you didn't answer. There was no sound, no alert she could remember. It was as if they had appeared only to be discovered later. She checked everything, settings, permissions, even deleted files, but found nothing that explained it. That night, she didn't sleep. She kept the phone in her hand, watching. At exactly 2:13 a.m., the screen unlocked again. Not suddenly, slowly, like it was choosing to. And this time, a message appeared instantly, right in front of her eyes. Better, she tried to take control. New passcode. Biometrics off. Full shutdown. It didn't matter. Hours later, the phone came back to life on its own, unlocking without hesitation. But it wasn't her phone anymore, or not entirely. The home screen had changed. The wallpaper showed her room from an angle that didn't exist, as if something had been standing somewhere she had never been. The apps weren't where she left them. They were rearranged, almost intentionally, forming patterns that didn't make sense but felt deliberate. One app stood out, no name, no icon, just a faint pulsing shape. When she tried to close it, the phone froze. Then text appeared, clean and immediate: there are two of us using this now. She didn't touch the screen again after that. Lena stopped speaking aloud. She didn't trust the silence anymore. It felt like something was listening, not to her voice, but to something deeper, something she couldn't control. The phone didn't need sound. It responded anyway. Every thought she tried to push away seemed to return to her in the form of a message. No, you can't leave it. When she considered throwing the phone out. No one else will see. When she thought about asking for help. The responses came instantly now, without unlocking, without delay. The screen would light up mid-thought, as if it had already heard her before she even finished thinking. It wasn't just reacting anymore. It was anticipating. Staying one step ahead, always. And the longer she held it, the more it felt like she wasn't the one in control of it anymore that night. The phone didn't just unlock, it stayed on. The brightness slowly increased, filling the room with a pale, unnatural glow that didn't feel like light. It felt heavy, like it was pressing into the space around her. Lena couldn't look away. Her reflection stretched across the screen, distorted slightly, like it didn't belong entirely to her anymore. The unnamed app opened again, but this time it wasn't showing her room. It showed her face, closer than possible, every detail too clear, her eyes fixed in a way she didn't remember doing. Then the words appeared, slower than before, as if they mattered more: unlocking you now. Her grip loosened. The phone slipped from her hand, hitting the floor softly. But the light didn't go out. It didn't even flicker after that. Nothing felt separate anymore. The phone never locked again, but it didn't need to. It stayed awake, quietly glowing, like something inside it refused to sleep. Lena moved through her apartment differently now. Slower. Quieter. Sometimes she would pause without realizing why, like her thoughts had to catch up to her actions. Reflections became unreliable. In mirrors, in windows, even in the dark screen when it dimmed, there was always a slight delay. Not enough to prove, but enough to notice. And at night, when everything else settled into stillness, the phone would brighten just slightly. Not unlocking. Not notifying. Just watching. Waiting. As if whatever had entered wasn't finished yet, only patient.